Hello, world. This is Chris Aballo's podcast experiment, and I am Chris Aballo. Welcome to the show. Thank you for liking and following and giving the show the thumbs up and all that other stuff. CAPEPOD on all the socials and giving the episode a thumbs up on YouTube, giving the show 5 stars wherever you are listening to the show if you're listening on a podcast app. So this week, Cape 244 is a continuation of last week's episode with myself, Christian Cortez, and U-Goboy, also known as Ugo. More than likely, you checked out the episode from last week, and that's why you're back. It'd be kind of weird just starting this place, but hey, maybe it's the most recent episode. Maybe you don't know. If you're just coming in, this is a great episode, but go back and listen to Cape 243, last week's episode, because it kind of sets this one up nicely. This is the second half of the recording we did at a Shared Universe podcast studio. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to leave the comfort of where I am and go to a Shared Universe podcast studio where I'm joined by my 2 co-hosts.
It's weird when you're in your 30s and like you can dissect either games that are being played via the text games.
Yeah.
Games that are being played in person with the in-person games that are being played with the FaceTime. Like you can dissect the because it's X Games, all right? It's like Tony Hawk skateboarding, snowboarding, Shaun White. Like
as the sports fan, I bet you're all about it.
Oh,
no,
I'm
good.
I'm so.
He wants to gamify this shit.
Yes, I do. It's entertainment.
You want to play games? Challenge accepted.
Exactly. Checkpoint. Like it's
Arctic Wonder. Select a track. If you get that fucking reference, I swear to God,
I don't even get that one.
Oh my God, one of my favorite video games. Anyway, go.
No, it's dating in your 30s or in your 50s. I'm joking. In your 40s. Dating your 30 pluses versus compared to dating in your 20s. Back in my day.
Speak up.
Oh my God, that's fucking weird.
These are some Coke bottles too, man. Jesus Christ.
I
can see dust mites.
I put your glasses on one time, and I swear I saw the Matrix. I saw nothing but numbers.
Is my vision that fucked
You saw zeros and ones?
Yes, you are the one.
Okay,
your
to
deal.
Be fair, yeah. That's
How many fingers am I holding up?
Wow, bro! I've never pieced that together. Bro, when you held your hand up, you looked like you had the hand of a Powerpuff Girl. I couldn't count how many fingers you were holding up. Oh,
I wasn't holding any up, so point proven.
God.
I literally held up a fist.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Oh, man, I guess my vision is that bad.
Yeah,
I guess
it's
so.
wonky,
God damn, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just keep to myself now.
Anyway,
Anyway.
dating as a mature man is what you were saying.
Yes. Roadhouse. No, but
Clearly I'm Sam Elliott.
Lucky Stripes. Lucky Stripes is hilarious. But dating when you're older versus it's entertainment for me because I laugh at how the things I thought were so important, the things I did
no longer.
Yeah, the things that I put on a pedestal, the things that I thought were just like, oh my God, like I got to do these 50 things.
Yeah.
And like if I do these 50 things, then maybe I'll be worthy enough for her time.
Yeah.
And then when you get in your 30s, you're just like, no. Like none of that means anything.
Right. And it's not going to mean anything to a person you would want to be with.
Yes.
Ultimately, that's what it's about. Because that's
too.
the other thing I see with all this dating advice. And again, it's got to be because it gets engagement. I'm certainly not
Yes.
following 25-year-olds who are giving dating advice. Because at the same time,
Daddy fan?
like it's no, but it's different. Like when you see guys who are 25, it's just about like, gotta smash, make sure you smash on the first date, otherwise blah, blah, blah. Or like, and don't pay for anything. And don't get her an Uber home and shit like that. Like, I'm like, this is horrible advice. At the same time,
you're the prize.
Yeah.
Red pill. You're the high value. 6 figures, 6 pack, 6 up.
Yeah. It's, but all of that stuff. Yes. Because those dudes who are as Seamus putting that stuff out there as there are women, like, again, you got to bless my Cash App. You asked me out.
Oh, my God.
You know, those are the extremes, though.
I read you
Those
guys.
are the extremes.
I read you guys a Hinge.
Yeah.
That's not a spoof. I didn't get that off of freaking
Hinge, a cringe.
Yeah.
a cringe. This is not from a Reddit. This is from a real. No paid actors.
I'm gonna have to block out the faces and put that on screen.
Literally, please do.
Yes,
please do. Please do.
I'm all about it. Text it to me.
Because again, it's like, seeing it and understanding. I'm thankful. I'm glad I didn't get married in my 20s. I'm glad. I'm so thankful. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. Like in hindsight, I'm like,
goodness.
this is why this wouldn't have worked, or this is why I would have been unhappy, because it would have meant such and such. In the arc, as you go through your life, and we talked about it creatively, as you go through your life and how things kind of make sense.
I wouldn't have made shit.
Well, that's it. Well, they were okay. So do you remember? I'm sure you do. Because it was a moment you were embarrassed, but because of something related. But there was somebody, we were out somewhere, and you were speaking with a friend of ours about someone, a celebrity you have a crush on, and you said, I would give up film for her. And I was like, don't you dare. You're still in your 20s. I was like, you better not be giving up your ambitions for any woman.
I was there for that.
No, you weren't. This is a different
one?
I
was there one night when he did say.
No, we were at. I mean, maybe, but it wasn't this night because of who we were with.
Fuck.
I wasn't on that episode.
Do you remember that? And you were upset because of something else.
Was it Halle Berry?
No, it wasn't Halle Berry.
That's the one for the episode I was on.
No, it was.
Yes.
You said you would give up film for her, and I'm like, don't give up film. I was like, you gotta life is short, but it's also long.
And
don't you go give it up your
walked right into the room.
Don't you give up your ambitions for to be with anybody, because that is a surefire way to be a miserable person.
That was what I was talking about before, talking about I don't know how you're going to be with this,
of course,
film is this thing that is a part of me in such a big bad way that you have to understand this is how I roll at this point. Maybe I'm quiet, but it's because I like to observe, right. That's part of it. But you have to understand, and I said it before, and you said it with the guitar. This has been here before you, and it'll be here. If it's that way, it'll be here after you.
Yeah.
I'll take it a step even further. We were talking about this at freaking Famous Dave's a couple months ago. Great restaurant, by the way. Psych.
Sansa Blonde and a Brunette.
Literally. Sansa Blonde and a Brunette.
No, that was Dave's Hot Chicken. There's a lot of Dave involvement here.
A lot of Dave action. Dave and Buster's. Yeah. There's a lot.
We haven't been to Dave and Buster's. We're going to go eat there next. That's the next on the list. We're going to complete the trifecta. Famous Dave's Hot Chicken, Dave and Buster's.
We can run a 2-man. We can run a fucking 3-man. Dave and Buster's for sure. Okay. We're going to bring him along.
This sounds like swinger code now. We're literally
that's
crossing a line.
No, but it's swinger code is hilarious.
You're welcome.
Pause.
Cape is back. 2025, everybody.
Where's Cameron and Maze? Pause.
This is why the show goes on for 3 hours. It's not because of me.
Pause.
I lost my thought. Thanks. It'll come back to me, but go ahead. What were you going to say?
We were talking about it at Famous Dave's.
Famous Dave's. What were we talking about Famous Dave's? You made me lose it with the pause.
I made you lose it.
Yes, you did.
He brought up pause.
No, I didn't.
I brought up the Dave trifecta.
I added to the pause. You brought up the
No,
pause.
I brought up. I didn't say anything about pause. I said Dave and Buster's and the Dave trifecta. That's all. We were talking about that at Famous. I almost said Dave's Hot Chicken.
You went to another Dave's.
Yes.
Sans the blonde and the brunette.
Yes, we went to a restaurant.
We were talking about
the arc of relationships, the arc of our creative ambitions.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
It'll come back to me.
Damn.
It'll come back to me.
All right. Well, now we got to stretch the show out for another half hour so you can get his thought back. Damn.
But no,
worth it though.
I was saying that my love of the arts will
be there longer than you. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's like it's going to be.
And it sounds miserable
who I
because
am.
it sounds like I expect the end of this. Not at all.
No, but it's who you are.
have to understand that, I'm going to come home at 3:00 in the morning because I was on a film set.
Right.
Doesn't mean that I don't want to not spend time. If anything, come hang with me.
Yeah.
Come be on the film set with me.
But it's also like I have to work on things until they're done. There's no definitive like we're done at this time. I mean, there are exceptions to that. I mean, like Everybody Loves Raymond because that show was
a real fucking thing in TV.
Yeah.
But it's like there are exceptions where like that was one of the things that fueled the stories of Everybody Loves Raymond. It was like everybody go home, have dinner with your family, and spend the night. Like they had a cutoff at the end of the day for the writers and the cast and everybody. So stuff can happen because you're not going to pick out different things from life that you can, turn into a sitcom episode by sitting in a writer's room. You have to go out and live your life. And so, I mean, you do have to actually have these, have experiences sometimes. But yeah, there are things, especially when we're working on our own stuff, working independently on things. It's like, I have to work on this until it's done, and sometimes it's going to be until 3 a.m. Sometimes I'm going to need to be left alone. I'm not going to be able to watch a movie with you or, friends. Or have, be home for dinner or whatever. It happens.
What's funny is when I think about people who are in the arts and have relationships, my first thought, oddly enough, is how Kevin and his wife maneuver. Kevin Smith.
I figured. I thought you were talking about Kevin Durant.
No, sports. No, I only think about it because I'm just like, man, Kevin always tours. He's always doing a project. He's podcasting. He's doing all these things, but they still make it work. And it like in a fun and jovial way. Like he'll talk about it and they'll be like, yeah, we do this XYZ, we communicate. I'm like, it doesn't seem, I know it sounds wild to say it doesn't seem that difficult, but at the same time, I guess that I don't put that much stock into thinking about it because I'm not there yet. And I don't want to overwhelm myself at the thought of it, that I'm like, you know what? That level of a relationship, like, yes, it'll get there, but I'm not going to overthink about it right now because if I do, I think it's going to be to a detriment. Like, I have to be kind of in the now about the thing. Yeah. Like, that's the same with like eventually getting married and then having a family because I know that I do want those things. Same. And I know that. And when you were talking before about seeing people with their own kids and how it doesn't make you want to have children and stuff like that, you're
not in that world.
It reinforces that now is not the time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it reinforces it's not the time, but at the same time, it's not that I'm going to then think about, how crazy and how tired I will be. It's like I will cross that bridge when I get to it. Well, it's also something that I can't comprehend that thought process right now.
But it may not be now anyway. Like if you actually bring up the Kevin Smith example, made me think of another couple who I actually admire how candid they are about their relationship, which is Richard Marx and Daisy Fuentes. They were in their 50s when they got together. She may have been in her late 40s. I'm not sure, but they'd both been divorced. And, they were at a place in their life where they didn't necessarily expect they were going to get married again. And they had a really slow, kind of like building friendship that turned to a relationship, turned to a marriage. And
I met the podcast through here. They're good people.
Oh yeah. He tours a lot and she comes with him to some places. And other times it's just like, no, you go and I'll see you in 2 weeks or whatever it is. Yeah. And like, that's cool. But for them, it happened in their 50s. And after they were married to other people, it's like, that's okay too. You don't necessarily know. Yeah. So you can't also put the pressure on like, and that's where I'm at as well, where it's just like, well, maybe something happens. Maybe there's, I'm not saying there's a 22-year-old who's going to be 23 in a week who's necessarily going to come along. All of a sudden it's going to be like, it all makes sense. Everything has come together for me. I wouldn't bet money on that, but it's like, yeah, you don't know at what point. And that's why I'm saying like now I know where I'm at now, but I also know that this is a stage of life. It's not how it's going to be forever. There's going to be a point maybe where I'm just like, okay, I'm up for the day in, day out. Okay, I'm ready for such and such. Who knew that we were gonna get into this in the episode? I mean, Never would have thought.
Yeah, you can't obsess about it because then you'll spiral. Like
exactly. You need to release control of that.
It is a gradual progression. I've had the same outlook with my career. Like when I left, we mentioned it.
Spiraling is part of the game.
It is.
It's being an artist.
Yeah. It's in the syllabus during syllabus week. But no, it was like we were talking about this the first pod we did together on here when I was dressed like I was in NWA. Like literally, like. I can't control when that happens.
Of course.
The only thing I can control is how I feel right now. What am I doing right now? Be where your feet are. Like you just mentioned that just now. Like being completely aware and self-aware of like what's happening now. What am I doing now?
Right.
What what steps am I taking to make sure that I'm straight today at freaking Eastern Standard Time, like the year of our Lord right now.
Right.
Because it's just like, if you start wondering like, okay, so in 5 years, I got to make sure that I'm doing this or whatnot. You don't know what's going to happen in year 1, 2, 3, 4 of variables that are going to, life is always going to life. I remember I've told that to exes. I'm just like, yo, something is always going to happen, either with you and your family, me and my family, you with your job, me with my job, our friends. Like, something is going to happen, and you have to be prepared that you're going to have to react off of that. And work
there are going to be down times. There are going to be tough times. There are going to be times when things are lean. I mean, look, there's not a couple I know of all the married couples that are friends of mine
that it's all good.
Well, no. Well, not strictly that, but if one of them got laid off, times would be tough. Like if they went from 2 incomes to 1, it would be tough. And that tests, I mean, as far as I know, finance is still the number one reason couples break up and divorce. Exactly.
This is America. We are rooted in capitalism. It is always going to be that way, at least in this country.
But it's like, but at the same time, is completely, what's that?
Don't catch you slipping.
But it's like it's out of the person's control if they get laid off, and it's happening a lot in 2025. And at the same time, it's like, it's going to be hard going down to just one income. Like, that's going to be difficult. So what are you going to do? It's not like, well, you lost your job and getting divorced, which again is so much of the social media. Just like, if he doesn't have a job, or if the money stops, or if he doesn't make, and there's like so much of that, and it's. Yeah, you were going to have those down times in the course of a relationship. So that's the other thing. It can't be like, well, now it's time to pull the plug. I'm out. I mean, the pandemic tested everybody.
Yeah,
it did.
Including me, who was living with somebody. It's like the pandemic was a tough time for a lot of people. That's why divorce rates went up and pregnancies went down. It was a tough situation. It was stressful, and people's incomes were in jeopardy, and their jobs were in jeopardy, or they lost them, or whatever. It's like that stuff that you can't control. You're going to be at the effective, and you need to, you need to navigate it, and you can't just be like, all right, well, we're splitting up because they lost their job or something. And there's so much of that, like that bad advice that's out there too. Again, some come from people who haven't, which I think it's awful. Again, when you see these people in their 20s in relationships, just like, you haven't lived enough yet. I'm not saying don't, but like, you're speaking to like high school kids. Like, there's you haven't had a relationship yet. Like, I don't want to hear from you what you have to say.
You'll get advice from
or marriage,
from like older relatives or older folk or whatnot, and it's just like, yo.
Your advice is about 20 years out of date.
Exactly. So you're talking about freaking the Zune right now. You know what I mean? Like, listen, you got to
Zune.
You have to upload songs on this Zune right now, and make sure you got an aux cord if you're gonna play it in your car.
Yeah, I heard MySpace is the biggest place to blow up on your music right now, man.
Listen. Like, Black Planet is where it's at. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that is if you're not using that.
Let me tell you, Chris, Blip TV. That's the biggest thing. It's gonna be huge.
Listen, if you want to download songs, let me tell you about this thing called LimeWire. Right? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, or BearShare. That's actually
your
where it's
advice is like Internet Explorer.
Yes,
you have not caught up.
Literally, Mozilla Firefoxing. Your Windows Vista in it right now.
Oh no, Netscape. Let's use a reference that doesn't even exist anymore. Netscape Navigator.
You just.
You asked me to turn on my Gateway like PC right now, or my Compact, and I'm just like, listen, like, we're not doing this. We had a Compact.
I had a Gateway, custom built Gateway in my senior year of high school.
So it's like, when what I try to explain
in the 1800s.
Yeah, this is how you started it up.
People
the Nickelodeon machine.
Yeah, he had the Nickelodeons.
It was a crank to power that thing up.
No, so it's like
you don't even want to know how we got the dial-up working.
Dial-up just stopped working this year, by the way. Like, it finally discontinued this year, dial-up.
Really?
Yes.
It hung in there for a long time.
Yes.
Damn, it had like 30-year run.
That's
crazy.
For the homie. Holy shit.
Crossroads played, like my both does, like when the last server closed up.
Wow. I was going to say End of the Road by Boyz II Men, but
your advice is so behind.
Yes.
It still thinks it needs to invade Area 51. Bro,
but
so that wall is still up, by the way. In East Berlin.
I've had older people, older relatives and all that, or just people I worked with who were just like, oh, marriage sucks, but kids are great, or like, marriage is great, but kids are a pain in the ass. It's like, you can only you can hear all opinions and then you have to distill it, but
not just that, but
don't take advice. I say this about people's careers, but I'll say it in life as well. Don't take advice from anybody who you wouldn't want to switch places with.
Facts. No.
I tell people that all the time when they ask about career, and I'm just like, unless you want to switch to, because I can't tell you, I'm sure you had it too, as people who, music used to be the primary for us. Yeah. I can't tell you how many people did not do music who said, well, you should be doing this.
Yeah.
No. Like, who are you? You don't even do this.
That was one of the.
You work for.
That's one of.
No, I'm not going to say.
You work for the city. You work for the city.
No, not even that.
I do have a question for you guys then. Yeah. So
literally got the advice. Literally, somebody told me. Now it's funny and it's ambiguous enough, but somebody who told me where I need to be playing music, and she worked for a sex toy company. I'm not making that up.
Love that for her.
And I'm like,
good for her.
What the. I was like, yes, you're the exact person whose advice I want when it comes to like, here's how your music career blows up.
I'm sure she was good at it. Christian.
And now she's an executive at Universal now.
Exactly. Exactly. She's an A&R.
Maybe. Yeah.
How do you guys respond to when people are like, yo, what's your 5-year plan?
Oh my God. Yeah, let me jump in.
Let me ask.
I got you.
Is it something that makes your skin crawl just as much as it does for me? And it's something that I wish it didn't, because it's something that even my mom preaches this, and I totally understand where it's coming from, and I've tried it. But we were talking about before about like the just how life shifts.
Life be lifing, man.
Like I can't really the only version of that I have is that I want to make a feature film at some point in the future, sooner rather than later. But that's the only variant of that I guess I have. But I don't know. When people are like, "What is your 5-year plan?" And I'm like,
shockingly, I have a short answer for this.
Go for it.
So do you mind if I jump in? Because you have an opinion. You
very
strongly have an opinion, but mine is actually short. So I remember I got promoted to a supervisor job when I was 20. I was working in retail, and my store manager said to me, "What's your 5-year plan?" And I never heard of that before in my life at 20. I'd never heard of it. That was literally the first time I heard it. Was from because he was like early 30s and he was already running his own store, so he was he's making 6 figures or something and doing well for himself, and he's 12 years older than me or something. So for him, somebody at some point introduced him to a 5-year plan or some degree of goal setting or whatever it was that he figured something out. It was the first time I'd heard it, and then fast forward to right before I turned 30. I mean, like weeks before, the first time I heard somebody talk about making plans for, this year or for next year, not necessarily the 5-year plan, but making plans for the things you want to accomplish, because the time's going to pass anyway. At the time it was 2011. It's just 2011 is going to come and go. 2012 is going to come and go. 2013 is going to come and go. There's nothing wrong with making plans for those years for things you want to accomplish. And fast forward again, that's something I've gone over in therapy, in as much as, at the end of the year, look back on, what is it? What are the pluses? What are the wins you can celebrate for this year? What are the things you want to accomplish in 2026? I'll do that as I have done. Or what are the things you want to get done, this summer? And then, with my therapist, earlier this month, September, it was, what would you like to accomplish by the end of the year? So thinking in blocks of time like that is practical.
I just think in those blocks, not 5.
Yeah, but 5 isn't that crazy. Just be I want to do, I can put down, for an example, and I'm saying this as a reasonable thing. You'd say right now you have a plan to, make the short film in November, and then, you have a plan to, you have another, you want to make one short film a year for the next 3 years, and then say, 2028, finally be able to do a feature. Or something like that. That's completely reasonable to do it in general terms. I want to accomplish it in those years. There are people who recommend you get more specific about exactly what it looks like and what your life looks like and all of that.
I guess that's my stronger issue.
I think starting with planning generally for what you want to do for this year, or looking back already as we're, a chunk through 2025 and saying what do I want to accomplish in 2026? All of that is reasonable. And I also think it's easier, I don't think there's anything wrong with being specific, but for most people, I think it's more accessible to be well, I would like to for me, I'm happy in the apartment I'm in, but I would like to move into a bigger one next year. My lease is up. Little things like that where I can point to them okay, I would like to do this. I would like to do that. And even on a subconscious level, your brain is going to work to kind of figure things out, or the universe, if you believe that the universe or a deity is pulling strings to make things happen for you, then it's okay, well, once the thought is in there, I believe there's something to that.
I do believe in putting
but not like a daily or week to week even thing with like, here are my goals for this single week.
No.
I do to-do lists for the week, and I find that to be more manageable. So that's my 2 cents. To-do list for the day.
With my mom,
stressful.
when she brings it up, I mean, I get where she's coming from. And sometimes I actually kind of appreciate it because it only annoys me because I think that I get weird about thinking about how quickly time has been passing, especially over the last decade.
Tell us about it.
It just
Preaching to the choir, bro.
Dude, we just turned 30
when I
5 years ago.
Yeah, when I turned 30,
2 years ago.
I think I not overdid it. I mean, I had fun on my birthday, but I think I made myself have fun on my birthday because I know that if I really didn't do anything, I kind of thought I was.
I had a blast on my 30th.
Yeah, I had a great
I was in
time.
the Dominican Republic.
No, I had a great time for my birthday. I'm not saying that I didn't. I just knew that I didn't because prior there were birthdays that were more chill and kind of just we're gonna keep it cool. But no, I wanted to go into this. But I don't know. My thought process of this is where I'm at. The comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
In a big bad way.
Well, I mean,
and it's something that I subscribe. It's not that I subscribe to it, but it's something that it's unfortunate.
It's true. It's cliche for a reason.
Well, let me jump in there. So we talked about this on the pod that the first one when I was dressed up like NWA when I was literally Ice Cube.
I gotta find what episode number that is.
That was.
I'll put a link in the description.
That was rich. I'm pretty sure I still have that flannel for sure. But and I was wearing this.
I would hope so. It was only 2 years ago. Would you outgrow it? Would your mom?
I try to.
Hey, he was a whole
Did your mom
different
take?
person
I was
2
a
years
whole
ago.
different person 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I changed up my wardrobe. I tried to. But so
Your mother got you new play clothes.
yes, literally. she still picks up
New school clothes
She
and
lays
play
out my
clothes.
school clothes before I go to work.
There you go.
For
That's
sure.
what I thought.
Well, no. So what I stopped doing at 31 was when my life changed I made a pact with myself that everything I do from now moving forward is going to be toward my purpose. All right. So I used everything up when I hit 30, when I literally hit 30, I'm just I should probably really make a concerted effort to get my shit together before I hit 40. And then I'm just
Yeah.
no, yeah. So that was my wake up call when I hit 30. And then I used that 1 year before I hit 31 to kind of put things and to kind of structure and move things around before let's make some really serious, difficult conversations with myself, some pacts with myself, some changes within myself, remove some people that don't have no business being there, and clean up my mindset. All right. So when I hit 31, one of the first pacts I made with myself was I need to stop paying attention to other people's TV shows. All right. I have mine. All right. And mind you, because again, I do believe, I do have faith. I do believe in God and the universe and all that. So it's I understand that I am the lead actor in this, but at the same time, I'm not the executive producer of this. I'm not the director or the creator of this show. I'm a part of this show.
Can I ask you something honestly?
Go for it.
So, I completely understand and subscribe where you're coming from with it.
Yeah.
But somebody who could be listening to this conversation could then immediately think, oh, Ugo had and I don't think this, mind you.
Yeah.
Oh, Ugo has main character syndrome. Because some people will say that.
Yeah.
But I think that that's just being realistic about where you're at with that. I think that that's a real thing? Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are some people that just think the world revolves around them. No. You're talking about literally your life and your control.
Yes.
You're not talking about, oh, everybody's got to work, everybody's got to believe in this for
Yes,
me.
everybody has to
Exactly.
cater to
Yes,
you. No,
yes,
that's main character syndrome. When people think the world revolves around them.
Exactly. That's that.
Ugo's world revolves around him because he's at the center.
I
of
have
it.
I have to be because I'm the only one.
That's different.
I'm the only one
That makes
experiencing
sense,
this.
right? I wasn't trying
No.
to...
I completely saw where you were coming from. We're here. Like Martin. We're here. So it's just so again. So once I realized that what I was doing before was it was adding to my depression. It was adding to my self-loathing. It was adding to me feeling not worthy and not adequate because I'm paying attention. Damn, so-and-so, this cousin, they're married with kids and they're a lawyer. This one's a doctor. This one, he started a family. This one has a house. This one's doing that. And also subscribing to if I'm not doing that, what they're doing, what am I doing? I'm a failure. I mean, but by there's creating these standards and these practices and these procedures, creating this like template of what I'm supposed to be or whatever. Also a change, I was almost dead set on becoming a full-time classroom teacher. Like I was a paraprofessional, I was a part-time teacher for like nonprofits. I was salaried, but I was like,
you were committed to doing this.
I was committed to doing this because that's what my parents and family told me that's what I should be doing. They're like, oh, you already graduated college. What are you waiting for? It's safe. You're going to be in the system. Yeah. Mind you, all this sounds like prison, by the way. And it got to the point, because again, I was at my lowest. I felt like a bum. I felt like a literal bum. So I'm just like, well, if I do this, what they're saying, I won't be a bum anymore. So yeah. But then I was just like, first of all, I was like, let me find out exactly how much I would be starting at salary-wise to do this. And also, let me have a real conversation with myself. Like, am I going to be happy if I do this?
Yeah.
Like, those are two, like, how much money is it? And how am I going to feel about it? Like, and if both are just a no, then fuck this. I'm not going to do it. So I found out how much starting salary for teachers in New Jersey. I found that out. And then I was getting ready to do the alternate route program to get my master's, because I already have a bachelor's, to get my master's to become a classroom teacher. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to be sad. Literally every day. I'm going to be like, ooh, if I could just get up and if I could just get to Tuesday, I could get to Wednesday. If I could just get to Wednesday, because I was already doing that as a paraprofessional, as a part-time teacher. I was already doing that. So I'm just like, fuck, so I'm going to do that until I'm 65? Like, I'm going to walk into traffic. You see what I'm saying? I can't even fathom like that being my existence. So what I did was...
That clicked for me with a cubicle.
Yes. And I've worked a cubicle job. It's funny you lowered yourself again.
I did. I'm trying to adjust because the mic cord, I'm stepping on it.
It's all good.
This table's awkwardly positioned, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
It was just hilarious watching you shrink next to me. But no, so
it's like, and now I'm self-loathing. I'm down here in life. So U-Go is up there.
So the story I told to with Aballo on
K224, by the way.
Yes,
link in the description. Check it out. U-Go's. That was 2 hours plus. God damn it.
You wanted to switch chairs? Take my chair. Just take my chair.
No.
Do you just keep messing with the lever?
Yes.
No, my calf keeps hitting it. Like I'm bending my knee.
Okay.
No, so what I did was I pulled a Chappelle. I left the country. I went to Amsterdam because I'd always wanted to go. I went with my best friend and his brother. It was my 31st birthday. And I was like...
How long did you stay?
I stayed for probably like 4 days.
Till my third eye opened up.
And
that's when I saw.
Yes.
You want to know something wild about that?
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to me because, again, it all correlates. It's artists.
Yes.
But one of my favorite artists, Jim Henson, he did the same thing. He went away and figured out, like, this is what I want to do.
If you haven't done that, I strongly recommend that you do. Because when I came back from that moment, February, whatever, what was that, 2019? Yeah, 2019 on, I never turned back. I got into the world of live production. I got into the world of sports entertainment, and that's all I'm going to do. If it's not in that world of sports, entertainment, podcasting, live production, live entertainment, if it's not in that world, I have absolutely, positively no interest whatsoever. I'm not devoting any time toward it. I'm not devoting toward any energy toward it. It's not for me. It's not my path.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, in terms of your show and anybody who's watching that, if you are in a funk or at a crossroads, meet me at the crossroads. Don't get flagged. Don't get flagged. And so if you're at that point of like not knowing or just of indecision or whatever, take that time to have those difficult conversations with yourself to get a grasp on your purpose, or at least an idea of your purpose, and you'll be much better off after it moving forward. I honestly believe that.
As a PS in relation to that, the same store manager who asked me at 20 what my 5-year plan was, what he saw the talent within me to be a successful retail manager, and was basically talking up like, we could basically put you on a path, and by the time you're 27, you could be running your own store and making 6 figures. And at 20, I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm working this job while I'm going to community college and, trying to get my band going and blah, blah, blah. But like, I knew at 20, I'm like, no, this is not what I want to be for me. Yeah. No, and I'm glad. And even if it was at the time, retail has changed so drastically in the last several years. Like I would have peaked. I'd already be on the decline.
There was a thing that
in my ambition, I am still on the incline.
There was a video that you sent me, and then funny enough, my mom also sent me, and it was Giancarlo Esposito talking about.
Yeah. I sent it to you.
I think I sent it to you. Yes, I sent it to you. I'm pretty. It's
a Spider-Man meme. I sent it to you.
I
definitely sent it to you. I don't know.
It's in my story. Like, wait. That's the thumbnail. we both watched the same video.
It's orbited.
All three of us watched the same video.
It's orbited in this fucking thing.
Yes.
But like, there's no harm in having those jobs and doing those things.
Of course not.
To sustain yourself.
Yes.
But knowing that it's to then go back to that.
Oh, 100%. Dude, I said that to you because I've talked about the jobs I've had in the last couple of years where you're like, but I really want to make a living in my field. I'm like, I get it, but it's okay. It's okay to shill for the man once in a while. Like, I had post-pandemic, I've worked a series of jobs, and doing different things that I never thought I would do. Shit, I was living in LA and I was a taxi. Because I was driving Uber and Lyft like to stay afloat, before it was cool, before everyone in showbiz was doing it. No, but it's like, yeah, you take care of your business. Like that's the whole thing. Like the idea of like the starving artist does bother me because it's like, and I'm not saying this to you personally. I'm just saying it's out there as a thing. It's just like, no. You need to follow your passion, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Take care of your business, pay your bills, make sure you have health insurance.
Yes.
Like handle your business.
Yes.
Don't make it all about your passion and your career ambition that like you don't take care of yourself. Okay, that is bullshit. And that's what Giancarlo says. And look, here's a dude who, I mean, what's he in his 50s now, I think?
Yeah.
I don't think he's in his, And it's like, his career's bigger than it ever has been. He's been on The Mandalorian. He's been in The Boys. He's been on, he's been on Breaking Bad. He's been
forever.
Exactly. He was doing the right. Yeah, that was one of his early roles.
Breaking Bad, and people think Breaking Bad is what broke him in. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Do the right thing.
I mean, but
he's
even
in Trading Places.
He's in Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this dude who's been around. It's like somebody. I mean, even Bryan Cranston before Malcolm in the Middle had done a shitload of stuff.
Yeah.
Or like, George Clooney did 18 shows before ER. It's like, but people also did other. People do other jobs. People do other things to stay afloat. And now, where the entertainment industry is. I mean, it was always difficult. Now it's near impossible because the level of mainstream production has dropped so drastically. And the people who do work in mainstream productions are only doing 10 episodes of TV a year, and they're not able to work on another project because they're locked into a contract for months.
Say like, yo, do that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Time, follow your dream.
I mean, do it, but do it as in addition to something else. I mean, the whole thing is just like, no, there's no plan B. I'm like, I don't know about all that, especially when you're doing it. I mean, look, I just literally today just finished the book by J.J. French, who was a guitar player for Twisted Sister, but also their manager for a long time. And it was a business book and how he conducted his business through their career and everything. And look, after Twisted Sister broke up, I mean, Dee Snider talked about it in his autobiography. Like he was working in a call center to make money because there was no money. They had to file bankruptcy after Twisted Sister split up. And J.J. French was working in a store that was selling stereos. It's like these are guys who were playing in arenas, had hits all over MTV. And it's
that's
like
more of a
that's
symptom
still
of a bad industry than fucking.
And the fucking film and television industry is any better? Come on, I mean, the music industry is reviled.
I'm not saying it's bad,
but that's exactly it. Like there's peaks and valleys, and it's like knowing an important lesson, and this is in addition to what Giancarlo Esposito says in that reel. In him saying like J.J. French saying like this is part of it, like this is this phase right now, but it's all feeding into the same thing, and this is only where it is right now, but it's leading towards something better. And obviously they did better than they ever had career-wise eventually when they reformed in the wake of 9/11 of all things, which is certainly not a predictable way for a band to get back together, but they, Benefit was put together, and then they went and did, they had another 14 years together where they made more money and had more, success and all that stuff than ever.
Not just that, but to go off of that, like I remember when I got my degree in broadcast journalism, and by this is 2011, so there was no cap cut, There was the only video editing software was Final Cut
Premiere and Avid.
Yeah, Final Cut Pro.
Yeah, Final Cut. Yeah.
iMovie,
Premiere, Avid, and iMovie.
And iMovie. That was it. That was. And by the way, this was just the analog was just ending. It was just ending. It was just switching over to digital.
You don't have to paint the error for me.
No, I'm painting it for them. I'm painting it for those guys.
For those guys. That's
for you.
For the blonde and the brunette that are definitely watching for that.
Literally.
Who are still watching because they're like, well, now these guys are intriguing. Hang on.
Exactly.
They can be old as fuck, but they're interesting.
So
this was when, oh my God, this is
when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
this was when Adobe Premiere had a feature that allowed you to capture tape.
Yes.
I remember having to do that in video class and being
my
like, this
God.
is fucking excruciating.
Nuts. Madness.
Oh my
Shout out to Innovation Park at Penn State University and State College University.
Oh my God. No, you want to hear the craziest shit? And this is one of those things where it's like, see, school doesn't teach you anything that's necessarily going to be useful. My mother had a class, I think it was in high school. I don't think it was college. And my mother's of a certain age, so this is a long time ago, but they literally had a bowling class where you had to learn how to mark down points in bowling, like for spares and for strikes. So the math and all that came together, never predicting there would be machines that would automatically count the pins and figure out your score for you.
What?
Completely unnecessary. Completely antiquated.
But the point though, before it gets lost in my head.
Go.
Or gets lost in the 2.5 hour director's cut.
Yes, exactly.
Show.
On Patreon. So I had no idea when I started my pod, I was like, you know what? I know how to edit like short form or whatnot. This is before I even knew about Opus Clips and like AI. This is before it even popped up in the scene or whatnot. I was like, I know how to edit. So, but like, let me find, I don't want to use Final Cut Pro. Like, is there anything else? I found CapCut. And then it was like, again, it was like muscle memory. It just came to me and I mastered it pretty much in less than a day or whatever. Yeah. So I went from just editing my podcast, this was 3 years ago or whatnot, not knowing that, okay, so every time I get hired by a company in sports or entertainment or podcasting, now I can leverage that and be like, listen, so I do short form editing as well. You guys need stuff for social media. You need hype reels for highlights for your sports teams and whatnot. I can do that. I can do long form. I can do short form. I can do promo stuff. I can do like ad stuff. Whatever you need content wise, I can do. And I know AI can do it for you too, but I can hire me and whatnot. Yeah. So again, it went from me just cutting up my podcast, of course, not making money, not making anything off of it, to fast forward 3 years later.
But it's a showcase of the skills.
Yes.
That's why I look at the work that I've done as like, okay, yeah, like this just proves like, okay, he can take a product from start to finish.
Yes.
Like that's anything that I make
and even off that, because we're talking about the Skynet and freaking AI taking all our jobs in this, that, and third. I remember I did something. We were talking about this at dinner, at Famous Dave's. I got cast for House of Highlights, very popular. It's like sports debate. Like there'll be like Cowboy fan versus 50 haters, or Yankee fan versus 50 haters. Like they have a whole series.
You got Jubileed?
I got I got cast in that, and it's coming soon. It'll be dropping soon. I'm excited.
Congratulations!
Thank you very much. And so I got cast to be a Cowboy hater or whatever. So what I put together in the green room with all the guys before we started filming. All of us are comm majors. I'm the oldest one there. Like I'm freaking. Who's the old guy from Road Trip? Like,
you're Obi-Wan. Let's put it that way. You're Obi. Let's get in something that everybody understands.
Exactly.
You're Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm Obi-Wan, but everybody in the green room before we started filming
was pod racing.
Had the same variation of the same story, because again, they're just like, well, I worked for Viacom. Well, I worked for Odyssey, like myself. Well, I worked for this and that and third. Well, yeah, AI came and then they downsized and I got furloughed. Now I got to work 5 jobs, whatever. But everyone had the same experience that right now we got to know how to do everything. Because if you get hired by one of these companies or they see you or see some of your content or they see you on camera, and they sign you on board, you got to make yourself so freaking diverse and so irreplaceable. So I do this, I do these 10 jobs and I have these 10 skills, So if you let me go, you're gonna have to hire 10 people to fill in the void or whatnot.
You know, it's funny. I've thought about that with the company that I do work for right now. Shout out to the Bodners. They're good. They're great people. But I produce their podcast. I shoot reels for them. I make sure that I clip out their podcast. I do all these. Basically, I produce digital video content for them.
You're Opus clips for them. You're Christian clips.
Yeah.
And I think about that sometimes where I'm like, man, if I went away, like they'd have to probably hire like 3 people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You got to get to that point and be that firm in your skill set. You got to be Liam Neeson. Like you got to be like Special says. You have to be because again,
which is the weird conundrum though with film at least.
Yeah.
Is that people see those projects. Like people will watch Justice Earth to be like, oh my God, like he can make a thing and it's awesome and it's dope. But then I'm like, you didn't stay for the whole thing. You didn't look at the credits. You didn't look at how many people it took to properly pull that together. Yes, I produced it, but it took. Do you know what we put into that properly?
Yeah.
Like they take away the wrong message.
Yes.
Like I'm like, yeah, I can get this done, but you got to give the resources. But they're not looking at it that way. I'm like, okay, then fine.
Yeah.
You just got to be prepared. You're not gonna get that. You're gonna get some version of it. But you have to know, like, these things require the time, the team, and all these things.
Yes.
But you're 100% on the money with it. It's like you have to know how to be the master of all these things.
You got to be a producer.
You need to be a one-person production company.
You do.
And I get that because when I get approached for
but
work.
at the same time,
it's necessary. This is the climate that we're in. Not just that, but the payoff is even sweeter. Like when we did The Out, and we talked about this, of course, in a filmmaking special or whatever. But again, like What Lives Here was not streaming everywhere when we filmed. Obviously, honestly, when I got cast for it, and I told, as a matter of fact, you called me to get the ball rolling on this. Like, hey, Ernie wants your number. I was like, who the fuck is Ernie from Sesame Street? Like, no, Ernie wants your. Like, no, can I give you his number? And like, no, and he wants to call you. He wants to offer. I think he wants to offer you a role, dude. And boom, it all happens. Because synergy, mainly because of this guy. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm the only one who didn't get thanked when What Lives Here came to all streaming platforms. Every other motherfucker got thanked, but not the one who cast him in his film, which got him the role. But whatever.
I wanted to thank him on his pod. But anyway, so. But the payoff.
You couldn't see that. It was behind mic.
Hot mic. No, but
very hot.
The payoff, man. Like I had no idea that, and then just an indie film from Atlantic Highlands. Like when we were at the premiere, we were even geeking out to that. Like, oh shit! Like this place is packed.
Yeah,
you got press here. This is a world premiere. Sold out. You have kept standing.
I sat on an apple box.
You weren't the only one.
You weren't. I know. I really wasn't. I remember. Like I was in the back. I was hanging. The way that Small Guys lives, there's 2 entrances into the main theater, and there's that back wall, and there's basically like a little nook. You can just kind of chill out there. That's where Kevin resides when he watches his movie. He doesn't sit in a chair like a normal person. But that's where I was watching the movie. I took an apple box, placed it right there, and I watched the credits roll, and I watched all that stuff happen, and I watched everybody cheer while this was going on, and I was just like, this is a sold out crowd. This is like I remember even thinking this to myself, and I didn't even remember if I told you. I was like, man, this must be like either life affirming or life changing for you.
It was both. It was both because it's like like you're talking about. I've been on the road performing in front of crowds for the last 7 years, COVID included, with the Wizards and this, that, and the third. And I'd always wanted to do that as a signed recording artist.
And
you know what I mean?
And you know what? To make it even full circle, it affirmed that trip for you, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Nah, 1,000,000,000%. Because I'm just like, okay, but here's even more of the payoff. It's like, I kind of thought that was the height. That was it. And I was okay with that. And we even talked about it afterward. God rest his soul, Sadani.
Yeah.
Like all of us, we're out. We're on an amazing high. We're at the bar. We're drinking. Even we went back to Newark. We're getting Portuguese freaking burgers. We had a great time. I took him to the hood. That was the plan. I was like, I'm taking you.
I saw
I
saw you at the after party. I know how hype everybody was.
Oh my God, I'm on cloud 9. This night is like The Out. That
you
rap
were
was
on
perfect.
Cloud 9. I showed up with an award in hand.
Yes.
So I get you, man.
Exactly.
Again, those moments affirm what we do.
So it's like that. So you live for that. But again, like I was so good with that just being it and just walking away like, all right, cool. Let me just go back I'm back on tour. You know what I mean? Like I go back to my regular scheduled program. I'm straight or whatnot. Then I find out that, oh yeah, so by the way, we're in a bunch of film festivals. All right, cool. Awesome. Like film festivals. That's great. And then I find out that, okay, so there's going to be DVDs at like Barnes and Nobles. I was like, okay, who buys DVDs? Okay, that's cool too. Okay, oh yeah, and now it's streaming.
I don't like that part.
Now,
Yeah,
but I still bought mine. I still have mine in my house. I could
you did because of your name on it.
Absolutely. But it's like, when I find out like, yo, it's going to be on fucking Amazon Prime and Apple TV
and Tubi
and freaking DirecTV and on demand, I'm just like, get the fuck, like, no, we shot this in Atlantic Highlands. Like, I'm gonna be able to watch like freaking, I don't know, The Informant.
What a random pull that is.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Deep cut right there, and my film that I was on.
But
like, no way,
dude. But aside from that, the arc of it, and I'm looking at this also from your point of view, but also collective because it was two experiences we shared together.
Absolutely.
Aside from producing itself, which we said when we wrapped, and you and I talked about it after we shot it, when I was just like, I think we got it all, like that, because that was a concern. It was like we did it in a day. We did it basically from when we were set up to when we finished, like 6 hours of shooting. Like I think we did it. And we were just like, all right, that's a win. We're good. That's a win.
Yeah.
Then that was March. Fast forward to October, premiere Smog Castle Film Festival, which is also the first film festival we got a notification from.
Yes.
And it was an acceptance. And I was just on a huge high because I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Kevin, I mean, repeating bits
Thank
and
you,
pieces
Kevin.
from
Thanks,
the
Kev. Love you, dog.
from
Thanks,
the
Ernie. Thanks, Ernie.
Yeah, thanks to the panel who voted, which didn't include Kevin. No, I'm just kidding. No, but
Come
Kevin's
on,
paying it
man.
for. Oh, stop it! He's not going to watch this.
Roadhouse.
But no, he pays it forward, and we all love and appreciate him for that. We know that. We've said that before. I'm just kidding. But to have it premiere there meant so much to me, and I mentioned at the time because I spent my 30th birthday watching Kevin's films in the Count Basie Theater because it happened to be a screening of, the 6 Jersey films he'd done at that point, or all the Jay and Silent Bob featured Jersey films anyway. On my 30th birthday at the Count Basie.
And at the rap party, remember, like clear as day, what I tell you, I'm just like, bro,
Yeah.
this is a win.
Well, it's like we had a premiere. We had a sold out screening for our screening for our world premiere.
Yes.
Which was a huge win. The after party was great. He and I were like, I mean, people were probably spreading some rumors about us. We're all of each other like, I love you, man. I love you too. Like we were just so like
Sam
completely
Jackson,
Yeah, but
enamored.
that's
it was.
what happens. Like there's like,
But
there's a camaraderie. There's a camaraderie.
Oh, 100%. But that's what I'm saying. We were celebrating that. Now, fast forward, he's cast in this movie because they saw the out, they loved his performance, and then he got cast in What Lives Here. Shoots that. That premieres in April. Meanwhile, there's a lull. There's nothing happening because we're just getting rejected by festivals for the out. Yeah. Nothing happening. We have this premiere for What Lives Here that we all go to in April. It's great. Get to see him up on a bigger screen in the same theater.
Nuts.
And then a great after party with that, with a really cool, cast of people and people who worked on the film
Bravery.
as well. And then we get accepted. It was actually that night that I ran into CJ Cullen, who runs Brightside Film Festival. He's like, are you submitting Brightside Film Festival? And I was like, oh yeah, that's coming up in August. I was like, yes. I was like, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned. I'm gonna submit us to Brightside. Then we get accepted to Brightside. Then we get nominated for 5 awards.
Yeah, just boom.
Then
boom,
we have another
boom,
sold out screening.
Boom. Yes, yeah.
And then we win 2 awards.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also one of those things. That's why I'm like, we only got accepted to 2 festivals, but they were both 10 out of 10 experiences.
Yeah.
Like I as much as I wanted there to be others, I'm just like, we have 0 complaints. And that's obviously what we said, during the filmmaking special. But it's like, you don't know how far anything is going to go.
No.
I mean, even when you asked me about, after we read my feature at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, you're like, do you have anything else? I'm like, I have this short film that I wrote that I frankly am not going to do anything with. Mm-hmm. Like, I wrote it, but you can read it. And I let you read the out, and you pushed me to make it. Like, you didn't know at the time you were helping along with, another award-winning film because you hadn't won the award for your film yet. You hadn't won an award for Just Desserts yet. And
I'd never won.
I hadn't even met Ugo yet. So, I mean, you don't know how all these things come together and how all these things pay off. Yeah. All you can do is where you're at. Well, just keep moving forward. But at the same time, you kind of need to trust things are going somewhere.
Hey, no, it's true though. Like I make a joke, but like that is legit. One of my favorite animated flicks is this film Meet the Robinsons, but the whole message of that is just keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And wholly believe that. Like, yeah, you have to, especially with what we do.
Yeah.
Like,
The hardest part is still starting.
Yeah.
The hardest
It
part
is.
it is agonizing to start. And I always took that for granted when I was younger, and I'm so happy that I understand that now. Is like, I wanted to make a podcast for the longest. And I'm just like, what the fuck do I know about podcasting? Like yeah, okay, I know what it sounds like, but I don't know anything about freaking what the cameras are supposed to be and short form and logos and this, that, and third. Like, what do I know about this? But I was like, let me just start, and then I can freaking piece it together. I can find people that have done it longer than me. I can bounce ideas off them.
We'll be able to figure this out.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as you're with the right people. That's another point I made when we on 224, right?
224. Cape 224.
I was like life, all of this got so much easier when I got around better people.
Yeah.
I stand that, and that's another pact to make with yourself when once you're figuring out what exactly is your purpose and where you're supposed to be. Make sure that your circle and the people that you're around, make sure that they have a good semblance and idea of what they want to do, and that they're moving towards something, and that they are pouring into you as much as you're pouring into them. Because I thought when I was signed, I was like, yo, this is it. I was in the most toxic environment ever when I was signed to a record label, thinking that like, yo, I made it. I signed a contract. I'm about to get paid. I'm about to tour. I'm about to do all the things that I'm doing now.
Hold up.
Hold up. Hey, like all the stuff I'm doing now that like when I freaking figured it out and got to it, I thought I was going to be doing then in 2012 to 2015 when I was in that situation or whatnot. And it's all of that stemmed from I was around better people. Like meeting,
honestly, yeah,
it's facts, man.
And that does come from putting yourself out there. Like,
Yes.
it does require that, because
honestly, this will be my ending point.
go ahead.
Is that for the longest time, especially growing up, I was the weirdo, and especially in my neighborhood and just in my area, people knew me as the artsy kid who wanted to make movies, but nobody wanted to work or hang with me because I was the weird kid. So I adopted the pretty much the Robert Rodriguez mentality of things. I would just go at all these things alone, which is why at this point in my career, I am able to do all these things, is because I've handled all aspects of the
Your independence.
Right.
Your independence is a superpower.
Yeah.
And
And
that's another thing.
Yeah,
Totally.
But I
Yes.
also thought that was kind of my superpower as well, as like solitary. But then when I finally like left film school, started hanging around more filmmakers, when I, like meeting Ryan and all those people, and like finally being around other artists who understood where I was coming from, really did open the floodgates in terms of like, oh yeah, no, this is a team sport.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and it's like
100%.
Yes, you can go at it alone, but those are the more that's an outlier, like, and maybe not directly your path. Like, you got to figure this out. Like, Just Desserts wouldn't have gotten made if I hadn't met Ryan or any of those people. Like,
Right.
That was a product of being all at the right place, right time.
Yeah.
And I will always appreciate everybody that helped make that happen. And it's just crazy to look at that and be like, oh man, like the mentality shift was just crazy, because for the longest time I'm going at this alone. Like, because that was just what I was used to. And then it became that weird shift where like people started seeing what you were actually doing, and then people who I know I didn't fuck with back then. They're like, yo, Christian, yo, what's good? Yo, how are you? And I'm like,
Yeah.
We didn't talk.
Oh, the people who come out of the woodwork. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, after the out and after the awards and all that stuff, you should
It's
see
fucking weird.
the friend requests and the people and all that stuff. Oh my God. I will say I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
Do you have a
It
button?
really just affirmed that, like, like once you surround yourself with the people that
You need to.
you will really start to make movement in these things.
Absolutely.
Like in a way that
Absolutely.
you might not realize you're prepared for. Like me finally being around other filmmakers who, like, even you, Chris, just knowing that we were all on the same path together and had the same mindset and similar goals. I was like, we're all just helping each other. Like,
Right.
this is what we're trying to achieve. So it's important. Find your tribe. Like it's very important to that artistic journey.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's
and that was something I didn't do enough when I was younger because I felt like I was solitary in a lot of things as well. And it was just like, it wasn't necessarily, you don't have to start by finding your tribe, but putting yourself out there will help you get closer to finding the tribe. Because again, 5 years since, I met Christian, and so much has come about. It's the reason U-Go is sitting here is because I found a shared universe on Instagram and ended up booking. And, it's why he's in What Lives Here. It's like literally something he had no control over, by the way.
Welcome to Two Piece and a Biscuit.
Literally.
Part 2, probably. I think I should split this into 2 parts. If I'm being honest, I think there's the navigating dating, and then there's the career and life ambition stuff.
I gotta go. Yeah.
No, well, it's time. It's been 4 hours. So
quick shout out before you do.
Go ahead.
Quick shout out to Mark Perdomo from Bravery Studios. Like if he doesn't, and love you, dude, love you, dog, appreciate you. If he doesn't do the Die Hard panel, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And then off of that, sushi with a bunch of like whoever's around, podcasters that in the Bravery world, or whatever. We never meet. Yeah. And if we never met, we would never met because I met you on the set for freaking
exactly, and that comes from. That comes from you doing a podcast, Bring It to Bravery. Yes. That comes from me starting a podcast at a shared universe.
Yes.
Marv keeping an eye on a shared universe.
Yes.
And seeing like, what does this guy have going on? Like these two comic book men keep going on the show, and then to watch my show, be like, oh wow, he's got his own thing going on. This is pretty cool. So you don't know where all of it is going to go. You don't.
You don't control the timeline either. That's the other.
No,
part.
You don't.
Once you let go of that you'll be a lot happier. Trust me.
Well, that's the other thing too, in realizing that just like all this experience has accumulated, and is handy now. So to have done the things that it took. I mean, hell, again, to reference once again this Twisted Business book by J.J. French. He mentioned like in the book, like Twisted Sister played clubs for 10 years before they got a record deal. Like there was a point where because they had so many, they were offered so many record deals that didn't play out for insane circumstances that had nothing whatsoever to do with them. It became a joke. They started betting on what was going to happen to the person who wanted to sign them because something always happened and the record deal never came through. But he said, if you told me when I started playing guitar as a teenager that you're going to play in clubs, it's going to be 20 years before you get signed to a record label, I wouldn't have made that deal. I would have gone into something else. And I said it on Cape 224 with him. Like if you had told me, you're going to make a film, you're going to win awards, blah, blah, blah. This stuff isn't going to happen until you're in your 40s. I'd be like, oh my God, I need to go all through my 20s and 30s. Or be like, your 30s, that's going to be the worst decade of your life. Yeah. You're going to have to get through that. But when you get to the other side, you're going to be the best you've ever been in your life. I wouldn't have taken that deal.
Man, the
as a kid
really lied to us, huh? Like just make the. I mean,
but at the same time,
it didn't. It was.
Because
find your people.
I'm Kermit, and I've collected all of you, and that's why you're sitting here with me right now doing this.
Don't blame the Muppets.
How much money have we raised? Like how many hours have we been here?
No,
doing this marathon.
Not the Muppets.
Blame Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That sold us a bunch of lies right there. That sold us a bag of oranges right there.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, golden ticket.
One day you win the lottery. Well, everything. You can blame the lottery. You can blame every story. You're going to blame everybody who says, like, just follow your passion and you never work a day in your life and all that other shit. It's just like, take care of your business. Get a job, pay your bills. Make sure you have health insurance. Like, take care of your business. Don't just put everything into. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of. There aren't.
They're getting rolled in on VHS.
No, I'll tell you where they're going to be in the forthcoming 2 Piece and a Biscuit. Premiering at Smart Castle Cinemas coming to Tubi
on BET Plus.
I mean, at least it means we're getting paid for it. Yeah, but he'll recast me as like I'll be like James Marsden or somebody.
We refuse.
Yeah, are those in the terms?
Yes.
All right, as long as I got the two of you by my side in this podcasting Oreo we created.
Yeah, we walk.
We walk.
And then we're replaced with AI.
Well, this hit peak. Yeah, AI Pixar version of 2 Piece and a Biscuit. Son of a bitch. He stole our idea.
Is that my image in like this? That's not me.
Yeah.
I never filmed that. Well, you did.
They got my hair like really big, man.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That is me.
I'm just like, why am I wearing a hat with the Lucky Strike logo on it?
Exactly.
I want to thank Christian Cortez and U-Goboy for joining me on this episode, possibly 2. That's the thumbnail for part 2. Because we covered a lot of ground, and I feel like this is almost 3 hours. Maybe I should split this into 2 episodes, which is fine because again, we enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
You all have missed it, but we want you to enjoy it. We want it to be digestible because you follow the shows, you listen to other stuff. But at least this is free. How about that? No ads either. Support independent production. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Leave a 5-star rating on the podcast app of your choice. And all that other good stuff. And subscribe to the Cape Patreon. Follow the show at CAPEPOD. Follow them on their socials. Links are in the description. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening on a podcast app, the links are in the description. So until next time, for Christian Cortez and U-Goboy, this is Chris Aballo, and this was yet another experiment. I love how all our hands are visible.
Jazz hands.
Wait. This was yet another.
Wait, should we?
Yeah.
Okay, hands all at the same time. Now I'm directing. Ready? And this was yet another experiment.